Okay, hello everybody. Can everybody hear me okay? I want to make sure everybody can hear me. Testing. Can everybody hear me? Roger, can you hear me? Kimmy, Debbie, can you guys hear me? Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Well, I guess yay. I just want to thank you guys for being here. It means a lot. This is my second live and my actual first cold case file that I'll be covering. So I'm going to give a couple minutes to see if anybody else comes in. If they don't, that's okay. I don't mind. Hopefully, they'll watch it on the replay. I'm nervous, so don't mind if I stumble or if I talk too fast. I'm really nervous. Does the nervousness ever go away? I hope so. Okay, so I guess we'll just go ahead and get started. People can come in. I won't be watching chat because I chat mixes me up and I lose what I'm doing, and so I won't be reading chat. At the end, though, when I'm done, I'll come to chat and we can talk and everything. If you can't stay the whole live and you have a suggestion or you have a question or comment, just let one of the mods know and they can screenshot it for me and they'll get it to me. So here we go. Today we are covering Toni Danielle Clark. And one thing I just ask everyone to be respectful to not only Toni and her family, but to everyone in the chat. We're all adults here, and I welcome everyone here. The more people I get in here to watch, to listen, is more people that the story's reaching. And I know, it's not a perfect world, and not everybody likes everybody. So if there is somebody you don't like, just block them on your end. My mods do have instructions that they won't be blocking um, anybody unless it goes by me first. I don't want, people just blocked because if somebody does come into this live and they are talking disrespectfully about Toni or her family, any of that, then yes, please block and then send me a screenshot of it. So I proof and okay, I'm getting flabbergasted. I'm having to read off of my tablet because all I have is a tablet and a phone, so I can't screen share off of those. So I'm having to read my notes off of that. So forgive me. I welcome you all here and I appreciate every single one of you. So let's get started. Today we're going to meet Toni Danielle Clark. Toni was born June 4th, 1972. Toni Danielle Clark, who had dreams of being on television or an Olympic swimmer, she was an excellent swimmer, a dancer, and a fairly good athlete. She was very outgoing and popular young lady. Her younger sister Clarissa recalls something just stood out about her. I would go out with her, and it's like everywhere she went, everybody was yelling, "Hi, Toni! Hi, Toni!" Toni's African American. She has black hair and brown eyes. She was 5'3" and 110 pounds when she was reported missing. She has double pierced ears, a scar on her right knee, and a mole on her left calf. She was also reported to have been 2 months pregnant at the time of her disappearance. Toni was last seen wearing a black tube top with lace, black linen shorts, a light blue jean jacket, white loafers, and a gold ring. Now let's get into what happened or what we know about Toni. The night of her disappearance was March 16th, 1990. Toni had left her cousin's home in Oklahoma, or I'm sorry, Oakland, California, to drive back. Is that going over? You guys hear the ring phone thing that just went over on the phone? I'm sorry if you did. Let me turn that off. Okay. So she left a cousin's home in Oakland, California to drive back to her family's residence in San Francisco, California. She was driving her boyfriend's Chevrolet Camaro, which she had trouble starting when she left because it kept stalling. The car apparently stalled again on the San Francisco Bay Bridge sometime during the evening. Another car collided with Toni's vehicle prior to 12 a.m. Police arrived just 6 minutes later and found that Toni was not inside the vehicle after the accident. And I just want to say, I researched and researched, and I was unable to find the exact time of her leaving her cousin's house. So I don't know the time span of her leaving the cousin's house and her car getting hit at 12 a.m. I just could not find any information about that. Assuming that the impact of the collision swept her into the water below, the U.S. Coast Guard dragged the bottom of the bay. Toni was not located, and neither were her clothes. No blood or hair was found in her vehicle either. Police believe that after the crash, Toni possibly flew out of the car and was thrown into the water as a result of the impact. The first order of business for investigators was to determine whether or not Toni accidentally fell into the water. Search and rescue instantly looked into the waters below. The Coast Guard became involved as they helped drag the bay, but Toni Clark was not found. Moreover, the teen was known to wear a gold bracelet that she never went without. The piece of jewelry was located on the passenger side floor of the car next to where the keys were also located. Some believe foul play was involved. Multiple witness accounts report there was an African American man inspecting under Toni's car after the crash, and others claim to have seen a man running away before the police arrived. But investigators sadly never looked into these reports and just insisted she drowned that night. Authorities are convinced Toni went over the bridge and drowned, but her mother, Gwen, isn't. Gwen received a terrifying call 1 week after Toni went missing. It was 40 seconds of a female crying. Gwen believes it was Toni, and as a mother, you just have that instinct. You know. Authorities could not trace the call because it was so short. The caller has never been proven to be Toni, and authorities stand beside their assertion that Toni drowned in the bay that night. Toni's mother, Gwen, would put up posters around the town and then come back later to find them ripped down, said Chris Wilder of the Vanished Children's Alliance in San Jose, which keeps Toni's case file open to this day. Newspapers wouldn't write about it, people didn't pay attention, and law enforcement didn't act as the I can't pronounce this word. They didn't act like they should have. That word I cannot pronounce, so I'm gonna skip over it. They didn't act like they should have. We're convinced she was abducted. We think everyone else should have been convinced too. Police in Bruno, Toni's hometown, said they did everything they could. They helped bring the driver who hit Toni's car up on manslaughter charges in 1991, but without a body or conclusive evidence, he was not convicted. We can understand Mrs. Clark's grief, but we disagree with her, said Sergeant Craig McKee Parks. We think Toni's body was swept out past the Golden Gate. It tears your heart out. I don't care what anyone says, what anyone does. I'm never giving up looking for my baby, said Toni's mom, Gwen Clark of San Bruno, whose daughter Toni would be almost 52 if she was still alive. I think she was abducted by somebody wacko. My daughter's story never got the kind of notice it should have, but that doesn't stop me. I will never give up. She's alive. Now, this quote that I just said, I got from an article that was published in 1998, and I can't find any other information on Gwen, Tony's mom, as if she is still alive. But if she is, we all know she's still out there looking for Tony. The majority of officials maintain that Toni drowned that night, but her case remains classified of that as a missing person. It's been 34 years and still so many unanswered questions. Who was the man witnesses reported seeing by the car? If the car stalled, why wouldn't Toni have walked to one of the many call boxes on the bridge and gotten help? Why was her bracelet, the one that she never took off, left on the floor of the car? How long was the car sitting there before it got hit? And was Toni even in the car? So many questions, and yet there's only one answer to one question that can give Toni's family any peace. Where is Toni Danielle Clark? If you have any information about this case, you can contact the San Bruno Police Department. I have added the phone numbers in the About section of this video. I also want to give thanks and credit to the Charley Project. The Charley Project began as a missing persons cold case network, MPCCN, which was founded in 2001 by Jennifer Mara. It was designed as a publicity vehicle for cold cases of missing people. Jennifer had also founded the Doe Network. She resigned from MPCCN and turned control in December 2003 over to Megan Good. Megan ran it until March 2004 when it was sadly attacked by hackers and had to be taken offline. Megan then founded the Charley Project in October of 2004. It contains much of the same content of the former MPCCN. I also want to give thanks and credit to our blackgirls.com. According to the National Crime Information Center of the FBI, approximately 33% of people reported missing are black. But that isn't reflected in the evening news. We need to bring awareness to the stories of these black girls who have been mistreated, are missing, and who have been murdered because they do matter. Their lives matter. They are real people, just not sensationalized news bulletins. Let's keep their stories alive. And me doing these stories, that's what I'm hoping to do, is keep these stories alive for these people, these victims. They do matter. Their lives mattered. I've posted both these websites in the About section. They both they both run off donations and truly appreciate them. If you find it in your heart to make a donation to both or one, you can find the links for their donations on their websites. I greatly appreciate these two pages for gathering all the information and kindly giving perspective to channels like mine to share and to get the stories like Toni's out there. Other publications include SF Gate. I found information from a 1998 article. A California newspaper, this information I was provided was only a small quote from the article using the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. This website is also linked in the About section. I researched a lot on Toni's case. You can ask Bella and Kimmy. I just kept talking about how they kept asking when I was going to go live, and I just kept telling I'm researching. And I searched everywhere for more information than what I told you. Sadly, it's not out there. And that's what I have for you all on Toni Danielle Clark. The first of what I hope is many unsolved cold case files that I cover. This first video is dedicated to Toni Danielle Clark. I pray someday her family can get some kind of closure. I appreciate you all for coming in and bearing with my nervousness and my stumbling of words. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to get these stories out, their names, their faces. I will also be posting videos on some cases that I don't have a whole lot of information on, just to get them out there. I have one case that is actually a friend of a friend. I knew him a little bit, but I didn't know him as well as my best friend did. And there is nothing about him, nothing. And I will be doing a video about him just to get his name and face out there. I also will never be talking about more than one person in each live unless there's more than one person involved in that case. I always want the victims to have their own story. I never want to take away from that. No, also know there's a lot going on in the true crime right now, and I don't have a problem talking about current events, updates, things that are happening. These will most likely be done as a community post, such as the one I made the other day. There's enough true crime channels covering these crimes, and I don't need to cover them. But there's enough people. I want to get the people that nobody's talking about out. I will be making a Discord shortly, and it can be used for people to drop their suggestions of who they would like me to cover. I figured this would be an easy way for me to keep track of them. Any information on anybody you might want to cover, please include that. If you don't have any information, if all you have is a name and maybe a state or town, that's good too. I love doing research, so I can look up as much as I can. And like I said, if I have problems finding any, a lot of stuff, I'll be doing it as a video to at least just get that information out there. Okay, now I can turn my attention to chat. Hi, everybody. Gordy, Freckleface. Thank you guys for coming. That means a lot to have you both here. Um, Gordy is a gaming streamer that I mod for. I love him dearly. He is one of my inspirations to get myself out there to stream. Freckleface is one of his mods that I mod with. So you guys being here means a lot. Bella, welcome. Life with Mommy, Mr. Pork, Freckleface, Luck, uh, Kimmy, Debbie, Roger, anybody that I missed. Thank you guys for being here. Um, Questions, comments, any, advice on what I could do better, what I might have done wrong. We still have time. This was sadly only 18 minutes. So, I mean, I'm in no hurry. If you all are in no hurry, then we can chat about stuff. There are stories. Gordy, stop. Stop. Stop it. This Thank you, Life with Mommy. Yes, yes, Gordy. Gordy loves to game. The story with Gordy, I guess I could go into that, is it was during lockdown. I had quit my job because at that time I was living with my parents and I couldn't uh, subject them to getting the C word that we can't say on here. I had bought myself a Nintendo Switch and I had bought, I can't think of the name of the game. What's the name of the game? I'd bought, oh my goodness. What is the name? Gordy, help me. What is the name of that game? My mind just went blank. It's a popular game. It's Animal Crossing. Thank you. I bought Animal Crossing. I was on Facebook one day and I had, discovered, wow, people post videos of them gaming on here. How cool is that? So I started, watching people game. And I came across Gordy's channel and I think it was me. He was gaming, and it was me and somebody else, and I just said hi and started talking, and he was so friendly. He was just so friendly, and that day, we became instant friends, and I've hung on to him since then. It's been years, but I love him dearly. So, yeah, he got me into Dead by Daylight. We love playing scary games with Gordy because we love when we can scare him. Yes, definitely. I don't have a link or. You're friendly. Don't try to hide it. So I also want to cover cold case files that have been solved. I have had a few requests for those kind of cases. Is that something that you guys would be interested in? I think it would be important to do those, to tell the stories, and then just to let you guys know that these cases can be solved. So if that be something that you guys would be interested in coming and watching also is the ones that have been solved, let me know. And like I said, if you guys have any that cases that have stood out to you that have happened, maybe you know family or friends or acquaintances that are have been impacted by a cold case, you can share that information with me. If you've been impacted or know somebody, I would even love to have them on panel to share their story. I want to get all the stories out there. There's so many. There's over 200,000 opened, unsolved cold case files in the United States, and it's growing day by day. Every day, that number's growing. But I'm not going to just cover United States. I'll cover all countries in the world. You send it to me. You have an idea, bring it to me. I will. Right now, I have 5 cases, 6 cases, because Kimmy just gave me another one. So I have 6 cases on my books to start researching. I'm hoping now that I've done this first live, I've got my feet wet with doing an actual cold case live. I feel pretty comfortable. Um, so I'm hoping to do a couple a week just to get them out there. And if any of these cases that I cover, if something comes up, any new updates, I will also be posting those. What do you mean, Debbie? His child Adam? Oh, yes, yes. Child John Walsh, yes. Um, I will do some research on that because that isn't that brought out the Amber or the code Adam. That's why there's now a code Adam when you're shopping. So yes, I would love to do that. Definitely love to cover that because yeah, that is one of those. For me, that was one of the first cases I really ever heard about with a child going missing and them not finding anything about that. So definitely, Debbie, I will put that on the books to cover also. That definitely is a good one. Thank you. Thank you. I believe I'll do more research, so don't take my word. But yeah, I do believe they did find the person that did it, but they only found parts and pieces, I believe, of Adam. They didn't find all of him, if I remember correctly. So sadly, that's yeah. It's heartbreaking, and it just seems like every day there's a new child going missing out there. And there's a lot of them being covered on the streets right now of YouTube. And so a lot of those I'm not going to be covering because they're being covered well enough. Um, if anything ever breaks in like the Summer Wells case, I will provide updates. And if there's ever a break, I won't ever cover her case because I feel like everybody knows about it. Everybody, there's plenty of channels that are covering it right now, and so I just don't see a reason for me to cover her. And there's no new information from when she first went missing. It's all it's all the same information every time they cover it, and then they bring their own side to it, and I just feel like there's so many rumors and stuff going on with that case that, if we ever were to get a break in that case updates, I would gladly bring it out. Um, we did get a conviction in the case of the Adam Montgomery trial. He was found guilty on all charges. So thank goodness for that. Now, if he would just tell us where his daughter is, what he did with her, so that she could be brought to lay and rest. And if you guys haven't watched that trial, I strongly suggest watching that on the Court TV channel if you can handle the gruesomeness of it, because monsters aren't under our bed. Monsters are out there walking among us. And it's just so sad what was done to this poor little girl. So, does anybody have any questions, concerns, thoughts, anything? Give it to me. That didn't take very long at all. I'm sorry like I said, I tried to find more information. I just couldn't find any more information at all. I think the last update was done, gosh, late 90s is when we had the last update. Thank you, Cordy, for stopping in. I love you. I'm so glad you were able to be here. Enjoy your Mexican food. I love you. Thank you so much. It means a lot you were here. Have a good night, Gordy. You're going to Mexico next week? What? Well, have fun. Drink lots of tequila for me. Okay. You were going to show what, Bella? Did I miss something? I love you too, Gordy. Thank you. Oh, okay. Okay. And I won't be covering, like, when things go to court. I won't be covering court cases, daily, because that can be done too. And you can, and like Miss Bella, she'll be covering stuff. I'll bring updates though. I will bring updates of stuff that's happening. Uh, I don't mind, like I said, bringing updates and all of that. Maybe watch and try to follow up on more cases. Yeah, yeah. Um, that's a good idea, Mr. Pork. Definitely, definitely. The one page that I talked about, the Charley Project, they do give out updates. So I've signed up for updates if anything's ever updated. And I also they have a lot of cases there, but I love the idea of finding if these stories have been covered by Unsolved Mysteries, and seeing if they can bring me more information than what I can find. Tony's story was not covered by Unsolved. There had been some information that maybe it had, but I could not find it. But I love that idea, and that definitely I will be doing that when I find a story. I'll do my research on it and then watch the Unsolved Mysteries and see if they can give me more information. I love that. Thank you so much. Amazing idea. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. It is really frustrating when you find these stories, and I don't know what stood out about Tony's story that made that the one that I want to do first. When I decided to start doing this, before I had even, brought it up that I wanted to do it, Kimmy and Bella kind of knew that I was interested in doing it, and so I just kind of started doing research to see what was out there, and oh my goodness, there's a lot out there. But her story popped up first on my timeline for some reason, and I just took that as a sign that I'm going to cover you first. I also will do a community post where I can't share stuff on my screens. I will do a community post when I get off of here. I do have a age regressed photo of her. Like I said, she would be 52, almost 52 now. This photo was progressed to show her at 30 something, but it would at least give you kind of an update of what she looks like now. So I will be doing that. Like I said, I have put all links, all information, phone numbers, everything in the about. Got that out there for everybody. And I don't know. What else, guys? I don't feel as nervous now as I did when I first went on. I just say when I first went on, I was just really nervous, feeling sick to my stomach. I hope I didn't sound too monotone or rush through it too fast reading off of it. I tried to kind of breathe. Eventually, hopefully, I can figure out a way to share my screen so that it'll be right on the screen for you and I can show pictures. So, yeah. Anybody have anything else? Questions, comments, anything? Thank you, Kimmy. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. I'm hoping that I can have something out. Really luck. So, okay, I found some information that I did find some information that was in a comment section, and I couldn't find where it had been posted anywhere else. But I did find some information that they were saying that maybe she had been, and I, didn't really want to, because it's not, I don't know how true it is, but that maybe she had been kidnapped by somebody. They had found a deceased person around her age. That person was also pregnant, but she was only two months pregnant. So the person that they did find, it was believed that they were further along, but I believe in psychics and everything, so I appreciate you bringing that here because, wow. I hope that maybe that her family can find where she's at and bring her home and lay her to rest and maybe, help them close it out. But I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. Luna, I people that don't know, I do have a pink toed baby tarantula. Her name is Luna. She's doing very well. I actually have to go get her some crickets because she hasn't eaten in a few days. So I think she's probably hungry. So I do need to get her crickets. My puppy is, I have a 6-year-old dash out named Chloe. She's doing good. And actually, she left me alone. I thought she was going to sit here and bark at me the whole time because I'm talking and she's like, "What are you talking to?" But she did actually leave the room for me. So, yeah. Okay. Well, if anybody else has any questions, comments, or anything, I think I'll go ahead and end it here. I love you all. I appreciate you all. And thank you so much. You guys have no idea how much it means that you guys were here. So I will see you on the next one, everybody. Love you. Thanks for being here. Have a good night. Bye.